So in this video, we'll just be taking a first look and unboxing this Steelseries Aerox 3 wireless. This is the 2022 version, so it does have the improved build quality, I hope so at least, and also the improved feet underneath. And I really wanted to try this shape for quite some time. I believe is some of the rival 3 or whatever kind of Steelseries mouse that is kind of legendary for that kind of shape here. Really wanted to try that out, and recently I got the Prime. I really like the Prime, but it does feel a little bit weighty at times, even though I really like that ergonomic shape. So I'm hoping this one will be kind of in between these two here in terms of weight, and also, of course, this is not an ergo mouse, this is an ambidextrous mouse, but I hope that shape will be a little bit better than my G Pro X Superlight. For the most part, this is a very nice shape and I really like it, but I just find that I kind of shift it in my hand when I'm actually gaming, and often I find myself holding it like this, like all the sideway here, because I don't really have that much of a secure grip over here on the right side, right below here my pinky finger. I feel like I could get a little bit more support here towards the back, because it's a little smallish there, because I am a palm gripper, I'm not really a claw gripper, even though I probably should get used to that. I've always been like an ergo mouse kind of a guy, so this is kind of, for me at least, I hope, something in between these two here in terms of shape, and also in terms of weight, and also like I said, compared to the Xtrify. But I hope with the Aerox 3 we'll get a little bit bigger bulge here on the back, so it will fit a little bit better inside of my palm, so it won't slide around as much. I definitely really like the Superlight. It is a fantastic mouse, especially the weight, and feels super nice when I actually use it. But I just had that minor issue that is kind of slipping my grip, kind of when I'm getting into some intense first-person shooter gameplay. Anyways, around the box here, we do have some specifications on the side. So it can be used with PC, Mac, and also on Xbox. It does have a USB Type-C dongle, just like the Prime as well. I'm not really a big fan of that. I would have liked to see just a standard USB-A dongle, and also maybe a little bit smaller. But it's something you could come around with some of these adapters here. You can adapt USB-A to USB Type-C, and you can get these pretty much anywhere, like Amazon, eBay, and AliExpress, and all those cheaper places as well. Works just fine. Only really need USB 2.0. So should be fine with those cheaper adapters as well. And of course you can see all this information here. So it does have 100% virgin grade PTFE, which is very nice. Does have some kind of water resistance, and it is at 68 grams. So not quite as light, of course, as the Superlight here. It also do get up to 200 hours of battery life, but that's also with Bluetooth. If you want to use 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection, you get up to 80 hours with default lighting. Still sounds very nice, so we'll also test that, but I suspect with lighting it will come down quite significantly. Switches is rated at 80 million clicks, got this matte finish, and maximum acceleration is 40 G, maximum speed is 400 IPS, and all the way up to 18,000 CPI. It's a True Move Air sensor, but I believe it's based on another sensor. I'm not really a sensor kind of a guy. But anyways, look around the box here. You can kind of see the newer feet underneath. On the previous model, it only had like 4 small feet in each corner, and it was kind of dragging a little bit, at least according to some people. But like I said, this is my first experience with like a super light mouse from Steelseries. Some people have complained about the build quality of this one and also the previous model, but the only way to really find out is to actually test it out in real use case. And I like the fact that it's rated to IP54, resistant to water and dust and dirt and more. So if you spill something onto the PCB of this mouse, because there's of course a lot of holes and perforation in the frame, you shouldn't really damage the mouse. And on the side here we do have a little bit of a side look of the mouse. People complain about the small buttons as well as on the Prime here. Don't really mind that at all. You kind of get used to that, or I do at least. And of course here on the bottom side you can see it is the 2022 version. So definitely make sure you get that one if you want the latest and greatest, and hopefully they have fixed the construction issues like I said with the previous models. Anyways, let's get into this box here. Just cut through all the seals. And plastic here, protector, like so. And let's just dig in and see what we get in the box. Inside the lid of the box you do have a little protector there for the mouse to be held in place when it's transporting. And definitely first impression, it feels very lightweight. You definitely do feel the weight difference between the two. Not that extreme, but definitely quite a big of weight difference. And let's just dig a little bit deeper here and see what we get inside the box. You get a little quick start instructions or more information guide. So you can kind of go through all your information. You should definitely consider installing Steelseries engine. Also, maybe there's a firmware out for the little receiver. The first thing I got noticed when I plugged in my Prime was the firmware update was available for the receiver. So it could definitely or potentially fix some issues that could be with a receiver. And it's kind of nice that you can update to the latest and greatest. And you can also see what's included in the packaging here. And of course, explain what the button on the below the mouse is doing. So you can also connect via Bluetooth. Also something I really like. So I can bring this with me if I just want to use it with my laptop on the go. I don't really need to bring the little adapter there for just some casual gaming on the go or use case on the go there. And of course, you're taken to the different pairing options here, 2.4 or Bluetooth. So you hold the CPI buttons. When the wireless mode is switched to Bluetooth, position on your mouse, and then you can kind of pair it up with your Windows or Mac computer. I guess you could use it on Android as well, and many different languages as well. Underneath that, you do get a USB Type A to a USB Type C cable. I think these cables feel kind of nice, but I don't really have any experience with like paracord cables or those fancier cables, but definitely very flexible, and it's pretty decent quality in my opinion. And you do also have a little bit of a Steelseries branding there on the USB Type A side of the plug. Nothing really on the USB-C type there or side of the plug, but great that it uses USB Type-C. That's definitely something Logitech can learn from. I have a little magnetic adapter in there, so I can just use a magnetic cable, which is definitely what I recommend you do. But I also have kind of a suspicion that Logitech are selling these out right now because you can get them very inexpensively, and they will introduce like a USB Type-C version of this one in the near future. Anyways, underneath here, the little flap, you do get a adapter, so you can adapt USB-C to USB-C. So you can plug one end into the cable that's included, and the other end here you can plug into the adapter, just like so. And this way you can keep it very close to your mouse, and whenever you need to charge your mouse, you just remove this one here and plug it into your mouse, and vice versa. It's a relatively big adapter, but it also has the dual frequency, I believe it's called, where it will actually scan the area and change frequency if there is some interference with other devices around you. And it will do this on the fly, so you won't really notice it on your mouse, but it will just change out frequency because it does have dual frequency, like I said. You can do it on the fly without you actually noticing it. So that's kind of nice, so you won't be interrupted in your gameplay if there is some interference with your wireless connectivity. And yeah, but I really would have liked the Steelseries to include something like these here, just a USB Type A adapter. That would be nice. Maybe even build it into this relatively big adapter here, so you can just kind of pull it off, and then the USB Type C will be underneath, and the USB Type A adapter will be built into this little dongle there. I would have liked to see that, but I can live with something like this here. That's pretty much all in the box. A lot of cardboard, I feel like, just to house those few components here. But anyways, let's have a closer look at the mouse itself. So of course there's a lot of holes. These are more honeycomb shaped holes. I've read online some people don't really like this shape here compared to like the Xtrify or some other mice that has like more rounded holes. These are of course bigger, and I guess you could probably feel them a little bit easier when you're actually holding the mouse, but there is no holes on the side, which is definitely a worthy trade-off because it does get a little bit annoying to my thumb. Or not annoying, but I definitely notice it when I'm inside the gameplay, when these holes all the way around here, and you do not have those on either side of the Steelseries mouse. But so kind of a worthy trade-off in my opinion, because these holes are a little bit bigger, so of course it will shape up a little more of that weight. But anyways, let's just listen to the buttons first off. So yeah, buttons feel quite nice. Little post travel there and pre travel. But yeah, again, I don't really care about stuff like that. But if that's important to you, yeah, most mice will have some post and pre travel. Of course, you do have USB Type C here, so you can plug in the charging cable just like so, and you can of course also use it in wired mode. But it's a little bit different compared to like the Prime here. You can see the Prime does have a recessed USB Type C hole. Some cables will maybe not fit in there, but you can see the Steelseries cable definitely does. Versus the Aerox there is not as recessed, so you can pretty much use whatever kind of cable to connect there. Kind of like that, but then again, it will put a little more strain on the plug here if you're actually using the mouse while it is connected, because on the Prime, it is recessed, so the frame will kind of hold the plug a little bit in place. So yeah, just a minor difference there, but other than that, button feels very nice. Scroll wheel not as hard to press as on the Prime, so that's nice. DPI button feels a little bit mushy, but the back and forward button here on the side feels kind of nice. A little bit small, but I never find that to be an issue in actual gameplay. Of course, a lot of holes there, but I believe the PCB is coated with some kind of weather-resistant material, and holes there on the mouse buttons as well. And like I said, nothing on the side in terms of holes, just this nice groove there for your fingers. Holes all the way around the back there. And on the bottom side here is of course where you find that 100% virgin PTFE feed, and I find the one on my Prime to feel very glidey, and I really like those, so I'm hoping these will be similar experience. And of course you do have some RGB in there as well, and also some holes in the bottom, and also holes below the feet as well. And of course the sensor there, it is mounted a little more towards the back. I'm not really sure this will cause an issue. And of course you do have the power button there, so you can select between 2.4 GHz on Bluetooth, so off in the middle position, on 2.4 GHz on the right there, and Bluetooth on the left there, and it will kind of flash. You can see here Bluetooth color. So that's kind of nice. Now it's just searching for that receiver, so we won't really see any RGB, but yeah, there is RGB all the way around here, the bottom of the mouse, and it will kind of leak through to the top side here as well. There's nothing on the scroll wheel, so it's kind of the opposite as the Prime, where you only have RGB on the scroll wheel and nothing really on the mouse. Probably should just consider turning off RGB if you want to save some battery life, because that will use quite a lot of battery. But anyways, let's just get into the actual weight of this device here. So it should be 68 grams. Let's see if this is actually close. Oh, actually a little bit lighter this time around. That's kind of nice to see. Do I remember wrong? No, it does say 68 on the box, so 67.7 grams. That's definitely a little bit of an improvement compared to the Prime that's sold as an 80 gram mouse, but as you can see here, it is just 81.1 gram. 1 gram is still something you can probably notice a little bit. I would have liked it to be closer to that 80 gram. But anyways, let's just try and measure the overall dimensions and kind of wrap this video up. So in terms of length, you are looking at, is it 119 millimeters? Width here, 58 at its slimmer point, and towards the back, of course, it is a little bit fatter at 67.2, and on the top here as well, towards the back, of course, the highest point, it is 36.3. And inside my hand, I have a relatively large hand. It definitely do feel nice. I really feel that extra bump here on towards the back compared to the G Pro wireless, or G Pro X wireless, but it's the same as the G Pro wireless. Do feel like I kind of miss a little bit of a hump in here. I'm not really sure in actual gameplay if it will be beneficial, really, but I do feel that right out the bat, that little bit extra towards the back here, that give me a little bit of a more comfortable grip. Yeah, it's not quite palmy, because I still can't really rest my palm towards the top of the mouse there, because you can see my fingers are almost touching the mouse pad. So it is maybe something a little more claw grippy, like so maybe would be the best, but definitely feel like I get a little bit better support when I actually claw gripping the Steelseries. Yeah, definitely quite a bit better actually. It does tuck me in a little bit better, so I won't like feel the need to slide the mouse around like so. Kind of always annoying when I'm in some kind of heated gameplay and the mouse is all crooked and trying to correct it while I'm trying to aim. This one I feel like is a little more natural shape for me at least, and of course a little bit heavier, so I'll get used to that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to test this one out. Of course I want to test this mouse for some time to be able to give a proper review of this one here. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video within a few weeks or so, just to see how well it's actually held up and how well it's actually been using this one in gameplay, and kind of switching between the 4 right now here that I want to try out and find my next go-to mouse. I hope it would be one of the SteelSeries ones here, but I really also like the Xtrify, and yeah, the G Pro wireless, I don't think it will go anywhere. It's definitely a nice mouse to come back to again and again. But anyways, I always wanted to try this shape, and since it was on sale, it is kind of time to try this one right now, especially now with the upgraded version that have fixed some of the initial issues. And speaking of issues, actually, I don't feel any creaking or anything like that. And it's the side play in the buttons. Yeah, there's probably a little bit of side play there. Again, I'm not that picky like a lot of, YouTubers out there about their gaming mice. I've used a lot of crappy mice throughout the years, and it's not really bothered me that much. I've just started to notice that shape is a little bit more important than I'm probably initially thought when it comes to like first-person shooters for me personally. I like a little more ergo shape, but I also like something that's a little bit lighter than maybe the Prime. It is okay, but it's a little towards the heavy side, especially when I've been used to like the super light here that I've been gaming mainly with the last few months. But anyways, this is just a unboxing, a first look at the Steelseries Aerox 3 Wireless 2022 edition. Like I said, I will do a follow-up video in the future of this mouse here. But that's pretty much it for this one. Hope to see you again in a future video. Until then, take care.